Citizen Television.
Greetings, and welcome to another episode of the Planetary Persuader. I am Koz McKev, your host, and this is for the week beginning October 11th, going through the 18th, which the 18th is a lunar eclipse, folks. And, of course, I'll be giving another horoscope next week on that. But, holy moly, that's kind of like the second harvest moon, too. So here we are in a waxing moon period. Moon is growing right now, and the sun is in Libra. We have one major change this week that I can see, and that is we have Mars moving out of Leo. Where are you, Leo? Okay, out of Leo, boom, into Virgo this week. So what we see in this shift, this changing of the guard, is our energy moves away from grandness and creative expression just for the heck of it into a place of purposeful, dutiful, getting rid of evil. It's cleanup time, folks. Mars is in Virgo. We've got to take account what we've done ecologically. We have to take in account that when you're fracking and you have a flood, it ain't pretty. And these demonic forces that have a lust for energy so much, we're seeing right now that there's a price to pay for this. It's a price that we've created. We wanted this demand, and most of us use energy. Although I'll confess I rode my bike here. But, at the same time, we have to be conscious about this. And yes, I know one person consuming a lot isn't the one who's necessarily causing all this disaster, but we have to be conscious about how we use this, and we need to kind of boycott our own energy use so we can regain our power and direct the earth to a good space, not an abusive, overused space. And that's part of the problem. There's a whole bunch of us, you can't really fit that many people in a phone booth. Libra time, we want to know what's fair. We want to do what's sweet. We want to do what's best. We don't want to hear this buzzkill talk of Mars and Virgo. But at the same time, we also need to get a backbone. And when we do things together, like we have a clean up the neighborhood project together, we feel good. And it's enjoyable. And so things become more efficient. And so we're going to enjoy this. All right. Enough said about this week. Love is still in the air, folks. Find your bliss. Let's go to the horoscopes. Greetings, Aries, and welcome to your horoscope. So, you've been living with Uranus in the first house. Uranus is like the coyote of the zodiac, the trickster. It brings us inspiration, but it also brings us surprises. Sometimes those surprises are accidents, but sometimes those accidents eventually lead us to inspiration. It teaches us a sense of needing to be inspired and also having people's individual rights and freedoms respected no matter what they want to do. And so at this point, you want to be able to feel ignited in your own personal freedom. And as we move from Mars in the 5th house to the 6th house, you're finding a cause that's worthy, that you can work on, that you can contribute to, that you can do something good with. This is going to be a blessing to yourself as well as others. Also, it's a good time for you to exercise more and get in shape. The weather's cooler. You're going to have to work a little harder to bust a little sweat out. So it feels better. So enjoy that. Honor your body. Work with what you got. Greetings, Taurus. Welcome to your horoscope. So we have Venus is in Sagittarius now, so that's your 8th house. So, I mean, that can bring the libido up. If you're a Taurus that's not in a relationship right now, you're probably hoping you get in one. And if you are in one already, it may not be always what you want it to be. You have to deal with the depressing, limited aspects that Saturn in the 7th house brings. Now, we still have Mercury in Scorpio. I want to mention this, that, next week Mercury's going to go retrograde. And so, with this retrograde Mercury coming next week, it's really a good idea right now to kind of slow down in your consumption and really plan carefully what you need. Because, during the retrograde period, you're not going to want to do that stuff as much. Other things to keep in mind here is, Libra rules your workplace, it rules your health, it rules your aunts and uncles and small pets, getting organized, just taking better care of yourself, because what you do to yourself in the fall really determines how you're able to weather out the winter. Hello, Gemini, and welcome to your horoscope. So Mercury in Scorpio, Mercury is transiting your 6th house. So this makes you a little more detail conscious. And it makes you more aware of what you need to do to get your health together, to be better at working with others, good ideas for a charitable cause, good ideas how to be better servers. All of these things come together with Mercury in Scorpio. So you want to be really conscious about what's happening next week, because you know what's happening next week, right? Next week Mercury goes retrograde. So we're this weekend, beginning with later on Saturday morning, the moon is going to move into Aquarius, into your 9th house. So I'd say it's a good time this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, do a little exploration, do a little traveling, see something different. It'll be good for your soul. It'll be good for your heart. And continue to trust your heart and take some risks too. Take some calculated risk. Good things are going to happen to those who make an effort. Greetings, Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope. So right now, you're dealing with your history. You're dealing with the basis of your existence, which is your parents, your heritage, your home, where you were reared, and what feels right to you. Your key phrase is I feel, so you're conscious about feelings. When it comes to family life is ruled, your 4th house ruled by Libra. That's what we're transiting right now. And Libra's key phrase is I harmonize or I balance. So bringing balance in the family, it's not always an easy thing. I mean, Cancer really loves her family a lot. And when you love your family, I think a lot of times the people we love, it's easier to abuse them. It's easier to not see them fully for who they are because we're so close to them. You don't have the perspective. Your cousin comes, stays with you for a week, they got the whole thing down. They can see it. Or you got the whole thing down on them. But anyhow, regardless of that, I mean, you've been in your shell, you're kind of holed up a little bit. You need to work on your career or some. You need to get out in the public eye. You need to find a way of staying calm during interruptions at work and things that aren't that pleasant. And I think really just grounding yourself in the art, staying creative, loving your children, that's going to get you through it. That's going to make this transition easier. Well, greetings, Leo, and welcome to your horoscope. So, You like to do things in bold, big ways. Libra time rules your neighborhood. It rules your community. It rules your basic education you've got. It rules short trips around the town or even just out of town. But, within a half a day's drive, anything from you that close, it's very third house-like. And so, you can appreciate things like whether it's the coast or places where trees are turning color, enjoying the beautiful fall colors that are beginning to come on in the high country. And now that we have Mars is moving out of your sign, so this independent feeling you have, now it's more like I got to act on my finances, I got to act on my values. I got to put my money where my mouth is. If I'm really going to do this great thing I thought I was, I'm going to have to invest in it. So you got to have the right tools to do the right kind of job. And there's a lot of family issues that you've been going through, but you've got a lot of creative juice because you've got Venus transiting your 5th house. Also, if you have female children, their activities are much more important to you right now, and your concern with them is deep, and it needs to be recognized, and it needs to be honored. Uranus in Aries gives you inspiration through travel. It's really, there's a deepening in your spiritual life. You have to kind of let things go in order to have things. Well, greetings Virgo, and welcome to your horoscope. So, Libra time is about finding a voice. It's about finding a face for yourself. It's about money, making the money, and where your values lie. Now, you're a Mercury-ruled sign. We've got Mercury in the 3rd house. How convenient. You really can't get Mercury in a better house than the 3rd house. This means that your communication is clear, it's thoughtful, it's deep, it's imaginative, it can even be colorful, and let's face it, folks, with Mercury and Scorpio, a little bit of emotional appeal seems to go a long way. We also, as a Mercury-ruled sign, we have to take note in our own self that, Mercury's going to go retrograde next week, so we don't want to, waste any time with this week with what we do, because these are the seeds we plant, and things can get a little bit, dicey and edgy after that. The cool thing is that you get more backbone this week, Virgo. Mars moves into your 1st house, so that aggravating Mars in the 12th house, well, you catch the thief, or you get your mojo on, you get more strength physically, you're over your sickness or whatever you had before, and this Tuesday you're like, I am strong, I am moving forward. And for the next several weeks, you've got command of your field, and you've got a sense of direction that can't be beat. You also have good friends backing you up with Jupiter in the 11th, and you have a lot of other good friends just in your neighborhood, even with Saturn and Mercury there in your 3rd house, and your relationship-wise, your things are deepening. They always deepen with Neptune. So you're learning the truth, and you're learning the mirage, and, you don't have to like everything you see, and that's okay. But the important thing is, look for the good and praise it. That way you won't be a buzzkill. Okay. Well, greetings Libra, and welcome to your horoscope. So here we are again. You are in this place where you want to be fair, but you need to be there for yourself. Let's face it, in some ways, Libra is very much like its opposite sign, Aries. There's not really a lot of foreknowledge. You're the first sign of the initiating into relationship signs. I often say that, Libra is like the engagement period. It's going steady. It's that romance. It's the date. It's the flirting. It's the period. It is the marriage, but it is not the honeymoon. People associate it, I associate it more with infatuation. in a lot of ways. And the reason why is because our initial love vibrations are often somewhat infatuated. But ultimately, love becomes a choice. We have to make an agreement and have a commitment to one another. And yes, sometimes things need to change and contracts need to change. But I think in light of all, be real, be honest, be open. The floor is yours. Mars is moving into your 12th house. So you got to be careful about, people that are secretly your enemies, or, hurting your foot on broken glass on the floor, things like that. You just got to watch out for that kind of stuff. Well, greetings, Scorpio, and welcome to your horoscope. So for you, Libra time is kind of a tougher time because it's like the birth canal or something. You're not born yet, and you have to deal with your own karma. This is the end of the 11th hour of your year, before things die and become anew again. And so a really good thing for you to do, Scorpio, is just reflect, okay, what did I do this year that I regret? What did I do this year that I really appreciate about myself? And what am I going to plan on doing this year that's going to really bring up something that I've needed to do in a long time? And I can honestly say to myself, wow, this is going to help me be better at what I'm doing and feel better about myself. So, that's where I would go with that. Now, the fact that you have Saturn in the first house, there's this element of depressing, slow motion, feeling restrained, feeling held back. Let me tell you, sometimes this is a good thing. You need to go through this before you can move forward. Mars has now moved into your 11th house, so you had a lot of career responsibility. But right now, you have positive male friends. So even though you're going through a little bit of karma with some stuff, you've had some bumps in the road, you got some people that have your back and they're ready to take care of you if necessary. Now, Venus is in your second house, so it's easy to want to spend money on yourself and indulge in luxuries. But it's also a good idea to sing spiritual songs and to enjoy really good music and discover the power of voice in a good way. So be with that and note that things will improve. Pay attention to your dreams. And it's also a good time to pay off your debts. If you can pay your debts off and, apologize to people for things you might have done wrong, just be transparent and open, vulnerable. In this way, you leave so much more room for people to be themselves and to be freed up from whatever it is. But you know what? After you've done that, you have a right to move on. You have a right to reclaim yourself and your own healing process. You don't have to be modeled by guilt. Greetings, Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope. So for you, this is a social time. This is a time when really good friends show up. This is also a time where you've made a lot of karma for yourself. And some of it's good karma, some of it's really difficult karma. Like if you wanted to start your own business and you were working on that, this is a really good time to get support from your friends and see what you can do to finish that off, at least in another year and a half. If you were in a place where there was some miscommunication, you said something and then somebody's making you pay for it, karma to it. So it's just relax. You can't know anything. I would definitely pay attention to my dreams though, because there's messages and dreams that you need to pay attention to right now. You got Jupiter working on your 8th house, so the spiritual world's really calling you strong. And there's a lot of heavy duty messages. They're not all easy, but some of them are. And other people are more than willing to help you, even though this has been difficult. Plus, this week your career gets a big boost. You get Mars goes into your midheaven. So you've got the juice and you've got the energy to appear like you know what you're talking about and you know how to take care of business, with Mars transiting your 10th house now. So I think things are pretty good. Venus is in the first house. You present love. Mars moving into the 10th. There's a lot of consciousness. You're conscious about how sexy you are or aren't. How loving and how responsible you are or aren't. These things are coming up. So act with good counsel and be honest about your follies, and then just move forward in the light. Well, greetings Capricorn, welcome to your horoscope. So here you are, Saturn ruled sign. Saturn's in Scorpio, and we've got Mercury over there in the North Node too. So there's been a lot of karma, a lot of hoopla around your friends, around your social life, your social environment. And they're usually helpful people and about you preparing for the future. How can you move towards the future steadily? Well, a love relationship, they might start out innocent and kind of fun and free-floating, but eventually it turns into karma. So you've got kind of some love karma you're dealing with. Venus in your 12th house. Could be a secret love you don't want anybody to know about. It could be that you're having pleasures in the bed, but it also could be that, this really deceptive female at work is getting you in trouble and is trying to be all secreted and catty with you about it, and that's not cool either. So, it can go another number of ways. I'm just saying, be conscious, be aware. Now, we begin Friday very conscious with the moon in the first house. So for you, Capricorn, that's a good thing. There's a little bit of tension between Capricorn and Libra. The signs are squared, but they're cardinal signs, like consciousness. It's about action. And Libra rules your career life and how you relate to the public. Uranus is in your family life. So a lot of things are unpredictable, the health of your parents or family members, or even where you live. Electrical things can have to be worked upon. So all these things are, worth considering. Here's a nice thing, though. Mars moves into Virgo this week. There's more joy in travel. There's less obsession with lust, and you're just kind of willing to go and explore where this person of you is going to take you. Greetings, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, we're looking at a week that's really building strong energy, because we're going to end up with a full moon in Aries by the time we get to next Friday. So that means that the moon will most definitely be in Aquarius as of Saturday. Woohoo! At 11 o'clock. And Sunday it'll be there too. And I imagine early Monday. All day pretty much. Till 2 o'clock anyhow, Monday. Moon will move into Pisces then. So for you, it's like, enjoy this weekend. There's a nice feeling of air on air. Aquarius moon during Libra time. Very intelligent conversations, very practical, constructive, working towards good relationships that are free, easy, thoughtful, and of value, worth something, stimulating. So from here we go through the rest of the week, and one thing you want to be aware of is that you're a lucky person, you're fortunate. And if you could look at every day like you were in another planet or another country and just say, wow, I want to discover and get as much out of this place while I'm here. So like I say to people, if you are an American and if you could look at it through an immigrant's eyes, you'll see the opportunities a lot better. So get out of yourself, be open to what other people have to say, because it's fun and you like to do that anyway, and watch yourself move forward. And there's still career opportunities for you. That's a major theme for you. So stay open to that. But this week, your friends are helping you. Well, greetings, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope. So for you, we've got Neptune in the first house. It prompts a spiritual attitude towards things. It's also kind of the thing where you don't know whether you're in front of an oasis or a mirage. So there's always like a big question in your mind. Now, Libra time rules your 8th house. 8th house transits are usually not that fun. They're not that easy. I mean, you probably do better with them than most people, just because eighth house is sort of like Scorpio, sort of like a water sign. So even though it's ruled by Libra, you're like, well, there's this intensity, there's death, there's birth, there's sex, there's intuition. So your intuition is on. And then with Saturn North Node and Mercury in the ninth house, it's like, what a great time to travel. What a great time to explore new areas, see new things. And so you have to let go of things. You know, sometimes when you're going through an eighth house things, you're not the one who's in control. It's other people's property you're taking care of, and other people are calling the shots. All you got to do is just have compassion on them and say, well, you know what? I appreciate you letting this. This is what, you know, I appreciate that. And if this is not enough, I would like to negotiate something different or look for help, because help is on the way. Your creative flow continues with Jupiter in Cancer. We've got a moon in Pisces as of Monday morning, and that is going to, Monday afternoon rather, and that will take you through most of Wednesday. So you figure, you know, Monday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're on a roll. You've got a hold of things. You know, you're doing good. And Venus in the 10th house, of course, you got some artistic charisma. Anyhow, thanks for being here. We'll do this again next week.